This is Keith Boggs of Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the debrief for 13951 Tobasco Cat. I've got about 120 pictures here and several videos, so we're going to go ahead and cover all this stuff here. This will all be in this recording. It will not all be in the report, just the items that you want to have the builder take action on. So some of these pictures are in here because they are actual defects. Some of them are in here just to remind me to tell you things. Some in here just for my own use. Everything, again, the pictures and the videos will be in this recording, but we're not going to muddy up the report with a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter to the builder. So the inspection report will have just the items that we want the builder to take action on. So first picture you see here, open it up, is a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the title page of the report. Very first thing I did is got up on the roof and started checking what are called starter shingles. This is where they start layering the shingles, and you can see these starter shingles. Some of them are not sticking together at all. The adhesive is present, but they're not sticking. There's also some other issues with the roof we're going to get to here in a minute. But several locations, here you can actually see the adhesive is there, but the shingles aren't bonding. So at this point, they've been there for several months. The summertime, when it gets hot, it will help. It could help, but a lot of times these shingles never actually bond. Sometimes they do, but a lot of time they don't. So you'll get windblown shingles. So these starter shingles, the builder needs to go around the perimeter of the structure to all the starter shingles and find the ones that are loose and add additional adhesive there. Preferably next few days. I think we're going to have some warm weather. I think maybe Friday or the weekend's cool. But anyway, they need to install that adhesive when it's a little warmer outside. But that's just when I first got on the roof. That's the first section that had the first starter shingles that were loose. These are some other shingles. They're not starter shingles, but they're again, you can see the adhesive is present, but the shingles are not sticking. So this is kind of at the main roof cover near a drip edge side of the roof cover, kind of near that lower pitch area of the roof in the back there. Here's another shingle. You can see it's just kind of sitting up there. This one has partially stuck, but the other part has not. That's the location of those last two shingles. These are some more starter shingles at another section of roof. You can see the adhesive is present. These shingles are not bonding though. It's more of the same, and that's on this section of roof right here. Now this is random sampling, so this is not every single section of the roof, but we want the builder to evaluate all the starter shingles around the whole perimeter. But there is also some other issues here with the roof. We're going to talk about in just a minute. These are some loose shingles around plumbing penetration, so they need to be, again, extra adhesive needs to be added. This is what can happen. One of the things that can happen when the shingles are loose like that is the wind gets underneath them and then they tear. So this is actually a torn shingle by the plumbing vent. This is more loose shingles around roof penetrations. And this is at the very top of the roof in the back. All these roof penetrations there, all the shingles around them need to be evaluated, and extra adhesive needs to be added. When I got to the front side of the roof cover, this is what I saw. These are actual windblown shingles. So these are shingles that did not adhere, and this is exactly what can happen to shingles when they're not bonding. They get windblown. And this condition is likely present in other areas. I did check multiple locations, and some shingles were sticking fine. But on the front side here, I found multiple shingles that were loose and windblown. And there's also some overdriven nails. We'll see here in a minute. That's just a loose shingle in that same general area. Okay, here you can see I have my fingers on two spots here. These are nails that were overdriven, right here, here, and here. So that those fasteners are not helping retain those shingles onto the roof cover. This is at the area where the shingles were actually blown up or had been windblown. So again, this is probably present at other locations. We won't know that because some of the shingles that are sticking are covering them up, and you can't look underneath them because you'll tear them to look. So really, based on what I'm seeing with the roof, it probably would be best for them to replace the roof. It's going to be probably a big battle because they're not going to want to do that, but I do have lots of pictures and lots of documentation. Here, and this is more shingles. These are just regular main roof cover shingles. You can see I'm lifting up 3 shingles with my hands there. Again, they're not bonding. And more of the same. That's the general area. You can actually see some of these shingles like down here. You can see how they're just kind of just sitting there. They're not really touching. But just a lot of the front of the roof covers seem to be even a little bit worse. This is more of the same, those shingles. This next thing here is a video. So one of the things that I do when I inspect the roof, people are always asking about the roof cover. It's one of the main things that people ask about. So when I'm finished, I take a little video of the roof so you can kind of see what I see. So I'm going to play this video so you've got it for the recording. It's only about 1.5 minutes long, and then we'll move on to the next thing. You can see those shingles there. This is again more loose starter shingles at a different section of the roof. It actually looks like there's an overdriven nail there too. You can see the adhesive is really not, it didn't even try to bond, so yeah. And that's just the section where I finished at. This picture is regarding the downspout terminations. This is something the builder won't do, but I would recommend you doing this. Extending these out 6 to 8 feet, preferably from the foundation. That's going to give the foundation, it's going to help the foundation perform better over time. We have expansive clay soils, and so you want to get the moisture as far away from the house as possible to avoid differential supplement. And that's just the location of these two, so they need to be extended out. This is just a missing fastener. It's probably being a little picky on my part, but what that hole is there for is to have a fastener. So they need to put another screw in there to hold it against the wall. This is the water pressure of the house. So the range for the water pressure is 40 to 80, and you're about 50, maybe a little hair below 50. It's a fairly good sized house. There were some problems inside with functional flow. I've got a picture here at one of the showers. You do have a pressure reducing valve, so they can adjust this. It would be better to get this closer to 80, so you've got better flow at your fixtures. When you get it down here at 50, if you have a bunch of supplies running, like the dishwasher's going and clothes washers going, sprinkler systems going, got somebody in the kitchen sink, doing something, then you get several people showering, then you go to get in your master shower, and since there's so many things being used, you don't have any pressure here. And when I did it, I only operated just a few fixtures, and the pressure was at the master shower was pretty, the flow was pretty weak. So again, it's within the range, so they may not do anything about it. So you may have to call a plumber afterwards and have them raise that PVR valve, raise it up so it goes closer to 80, or at least 70. This is the back patio. There's just missing glass panes at this light here, right there, that one right up there. This is one of your outlets. Your front patio and back patio outlets are lacking what are called weather-tight covers. It's basically a plastic cover that covers the outlet, so any exterior outlet should have weather-tight covers. Both areas are covered, but you could get wind-driven rains, or you're out there with a hose spraying around, and you get water in here, and it causes the circuit to trip, or possibly you get shocked. So you want weather-tight covers on the front and back patio, right there. These are more downspout terminations. They need to be extended. This is also missing fasteners. That's what these 4 holes are for. So right now it's caulked in place, and it'll stay there for a while, but eventually it'll come loose and then eventually fall off the structure. So they need to add 4 fasteners to this vent over here on the side of the house. These are more downspouts to be extended. This is the front patio. It needs to be a weather-tight cover. I took a picture of this. I thought this light was supposed to have a cover on it, and then when I turned it on, it looks like that's the way it's supposed to be. So just ignore that. This is your condenser, manufacturer's label. These things are really for me. There was a problem there. I couldn't get the air conditioning or the heat to come on. I did verify the breakers and switches and the disconnects, and everything was on, but the air conditioning would not come on, the heat would not come on. So something's going on with that needs to be investigated. Also, with the heat not being able to, without the ability to turn the air conditioning on, it makes it very hard to use the thermal camera. The thermal camera works up in temperature differentials, so I'm going to make it really, really cold in there for the camera to work right. Otherwise, the results are unreliable. So I really wasn't able to do any kind of thermal imaging because the air conditioning wasn't working. So that's something that was not, I could not do. Only because the results would have been unreliable, would give you a sense of security that may not be there. This is another vent missing fasteners there and there. You can't see over here, but I think they're missing over there too. This is a damper vent that's missing a louver's broken loose. It's looseness out of there. Both of those are right up there. This is your water heater, and this is what's called a sediment trap. It's too short. The minimum length is 3 inches. That's only about 1.5 inches, maybe, if that. This is the water heater. Water heater did work fine. The only problem is it's not mounted inside this box. The top of the water heater is you can actually push on it. It shakes. When you put the cover on there, you have to actually push it in place to get the cover to go in place. So they never didn't mount it properly inside of its little cabinet there. That's just a serial number or manufacturer's label. That's me just pushing it. So you push it, it should be sitting back farther into there. This is an area of the house that looked to be a little wet. Now, if the water doesn't pond for more than 48 to 72 hours, it's usually not a drainage issue, but I'm going to put it in the report because it did seem like it had been wet. This was still a little bit wet. This is just the area, so they should just do a better swale or put some ground drainage in there. This is when I just was verifying the switches. This is the furnace switch. This is the breaker for the AC, which was on, and this is the disconnect, which is in the on position. So all 3 sources were on for the HVAC system. This next video is just a video of the garage door test. So we do a pressure reverse test. I put something in front of the door, so when it shuts, it should hit it in reverse. And then I shut it again and put my foot in front of the electronic eye to make sure that the electronic eye works. So we're going to play this so you have it for the recording. It should basically just hit it and fairly quickly just back right up, just like that. And that's me with electronic eye, and both these tests work fine. The door's a little bit loud. The builder will not lubricate that, the door and the tracks and the wheels, so I'd recommend once you move in, go out and buy some white lithium grease, the clear color, the clear kind, and just spray the wheels with the white lithium grease. Spray some inside the tracks here. Spray some on the chain. Probably wouldn't hurt to put some on these brackets here, and then just open and close the door a few times, and that should quiet that door down quite a bit. This is your water meter, and so what we're looking at down here was what's called a low flow indicator. So I look at this for a couple minutes. I'm looking for supply leaks. And then with the last 30 seconds, I'll take a little video. So this number here, this 5156, if the water is running, it will start counting. Or if everything is off and this is counting, then you know that you've got a supply leak. This is also how we can verify drip irrigation. But I'm going to play this video, and you'll notice that there were no supply leaks at the time of the inspection. That number does not change. 5156 is the last four. Almost done. This is the sprinkler system zones. You've got 13 zones. I did verify that there are 13 wires in there. This is it looks like this is probably just loose, but there's some water leaking out from under the ground, so I'm assuming it's a loose pop-up. That's in zone 4. Then in zone 6, we had an issue. The zone 6 did not come on at all, so did not work, so then they need to investigate why that wasn't working. This is possibly where zone 6 was. It's a pop-up zone. There were no pop-ups, so there possibly is some underground plumbing that is broken, so it's not getting the pressure to lift the pop-ups in that zone 6. Don't know that for sure, but it's a possibility. Regardless, it needs to be fixed. This is, you can't really see this very well either, but this is the drip irrigation at the front right-of-way, kind of near the tree, and there's a break in the line. The water is pouring out from under the ground. That should be drip irrigation, not be pouring out like that. So that's just by that tree up front. That's in zone 9. This is just a little short video of the condenser that I took. Again, this is really just for me. I use this to verify the manufacturer's label. I also take a video if it's running to see how it sounds, but I took this video for another reason, which you'll see here in a minute. Air conditioning is not operational. Here in a second, you're going to see there's kind of some damage to the. It looks like possibly
condenser fins,
possibly hail.
possibly hail damage.
You can see when they back up there, it's fairly spread out. So I'm not sure what went on there, but that needs to be investigated, and they may have to replace that unit. This is a failed window. It's actually cracked. I don't know if you can see the crack here. This is in the front office area. That left window is failed. That needs to be replaced. This is in the master. I think this is the master shower. It looks like they didn't caulk very well around the shower pan, so they need to go around. Oh, this is the first floor guest bathroom. They need to go around this and just do a better job caulking around that perimeter of that shower pan. There were 2 light bulbs missing in that bathroom. Those 2 right there. This is a separation of crown molding. That's a pretty good separation there. So it looks like there's been a little bit of movement. Nothing structurally significant, but we do want them to make sure those are secure in place and caulk and paint them again. It is a brand new house. That's in the dining room area. This is your microwave. These next pictures, again, these will not be in the report. This is just to show you the things, what were and were not working. This is their microwave, and the microwave did not work. Okay, so that's something they need to investigate. I did check all the breakers. They were all in place, so something's going on there. That's just a manufacturer's label. This is your oven. It was set to 350. We'll come back to that. I think it wasn't heating yet. This is a cabinet separation. Pretty much goes the whole length along this side. Again, showing a little bit of movement. Nothing structurally significant. They just go in there and just caulk that and paint that again. This is your cooktop, and it worked fine. Actually, ignore this. I thought the disposal wasn't working. It just wasn't plugged in all the way. I did get it to work. The disposal did work. I did fill up the sinks and check for leaks. There were no leaks. Just ignore that. This is your fireplace. The fireplace did work. You can't really see in this picture. It's a switchable fireplace. This is your dishwasher. First time I took a reading on it, it hadn't heated there very well. I did take some readings later, and I believe that it did end up heating. It did start to heat and was heating fine. Manufacturer's label. Sorry about that. Oh, this is the oven. Okay, so the oven was set to 350. The range for heating is 325 to 375, so it's within the range. This is just showing you the air conditioning was on cold, I had it set, and it wasn't working. I got a picture. This is in the master bathroom, and this is the left sink. If you take a look at this spout here in the next picture, you'll see it's moved to the left. So that plumbing is very loose on that fixture. They need to tighten it up. The plumbing won't get tighter over time; it'll only get looser. So they need to tighten up that sink, that spout of that sink. This is inside the master shower, and they didn't do a very good job grouting inside some of these grout joints here. So we want to get them to get inside that shower and just do some better grouting inside that master shower. This is around the master tub. They did not do any caulking around the master tub perimeter, so they need to go in and caulk around this whole perimeter of this tub. Under both sinks in the master, you can't see in this picture, but there was some, I guess there probably was some past flood or something, because there's moisture damage to both of these cabinet floors. It's just cosmetic, but again, you're buying a brand new house, so everything should be in brand new condition. I mean, that's my opinion. This is your dryer vent. One thing this is lacking is it's now required for them to put a little red sticker here that states that the diameter of the vent, like 3-inch diameter, and then the length to termination, 14 feet, 22 feet, whatever it is. That sticker is not present. This is insulation depth. This is just for me. You got almost 7, it's about 16 inches. 12 is all that's required, so you got plenty of insulation, extra insulation. This is your air handler furnace, and again, it didn't work. It is lacking a float switch on the drain pan. That's something that I'm not sure if McKinney requires that yet, but I'd have that installed if the builder won't do it, because it could save your house from flooding. This is the filter. It's a 4-inch 20 by 25, and it was clean. Okay, so this is in the master shower. I had just had 2 sinks going. I think I may have the tub going too, but that's only 3 other supplies, and you can see it's just kind of, it's not shooting straight out. You know, it should be shooting kind of straight out like that. If it had decent pressure, it would. It's kind of just petering off down, kind of just not very strong. And again, that was just with a few things going. If I was to go into the kitchen and other bathrooms and get some other things going, I've seen these things completely quit working. So this is something that you definitely would probably bother you. This is an area that just needs some grouting. Second floor bathroom. Again, just need to do a better job of the grouting. Also some moisture damage under the cabinet. Left cabinet. This is a bathroom upstairs, and they did not have the spout on there. So I can check that it worked, but I can't check that the shower worked, because you need the spout for the diverter to divert the water to the shower. So that needs to be installed. Here's the back at the dishwasher. So we got a 108. Oven should heat to 120. It still had probably a half an hour left before it was finished, so it was on its way to 120. I'm not really concerned about that. This is air conditioning. This is actually the heating, to show that the heating was not working. And you can see the heat was on and it was set to 90. And that's it. So if you have any questions, you can contact me 7 days a week. It's always best to text me first, and then email me second, and then voicemail third. I would avoid voicemail if possible. Either text or email is the best. Text is actually the best, but it just takes me longer to get to the voicemail. So if you have any questions, give me a call.